So if you will look this morning, let me make sure no one needs to get into the room with the, they do, there we go. And I'll reset as soon as this opens up. Okay. So if you look at, let's do this. Too many windows open, too much going on. Let's do this one. Let's move this over here. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 8:40 a.m. Turn off trade lock. Otherwise I'll forget. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Stay with this. Okay. Here we'll start with QQQ. Right. So QQQ. If you look, very simple. I want this to go page up. There we go. And my pen drawing. What I am looking at right here, okay, net gex on NQ, right? We were negative 654, we're negative 631. Now here's my dilemma, right? They added liquidity, right? And you'll see on QQQ, gamma is, wow, I have to get to it. Gamma is negative, I'm pretty sure. So gamma is, I have 5 minutes, I don't have to rush. Gamma is negative, liquidity was removed. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm not going to go back and show where the gamma is, but the first thing I want to show you, you can have negative gamma and days that go up. Even when you'll see here where we were mainly rolling down, okay? And if you look and squinted really closely, what you would see is that, first of all, so remember, negative gamma does not mean we go lower or higher. It means the range expands. So let me explain that really quick. If this is your range one day, right, and we're in positive gamma, generally what will happen is this, nice controlled rotations. Sometimes it can look like this. Sometimes it can look like this, but it's nothing crazy, right? It just kind of follows a nice gentle pattern and there's choppiness, okay? In negative gamma, what you would generally expect is if this was your positive gamma, your negative gamma range would look like this, significantly wider. And what would happen is when you get to resistance, it would push. Then it would come back underneath, back down, come down to support, little bounce, then it would push, get back above, come back, and push like this. But the range would be wide, the speed would be faster, the ranges would be bigger, and your extensions would be bigger. Okay, some people like this, some people don't like this. It doesn't matter which one you like. All you need to know is that the gamma is negative. So on an up day, what that would look like is instead of this, right, it would go like this, right? Big and wide instead of nice and structured. Okay, so it can still go up in negative gamma and it can still go down in negative gamma. The biggest down days tend to come in negative gamma because the range expands, right? So now the next thing that we are looking for is, did they add or subtract gamma? Now, I went through this extensively with several people this weekend. When you add gamma, the long trades, if you go look at the green bars up and the dots up, tend to work very well. So on QQQ, I'd be looking for the algos up, right? Not only that, but ES and NQ do not match. Okay, so I'm going to get my pointer and I'm going to get SPY. And SPY come on. There we go. There it is. It's already circled for us. In SPY, right? We were negative 1.26 on the 21st. Today we're negative 1.86. Okay, so in SPY/ES, I'm focused on the white bars down. Okay, very, very simple. I'm focused on the white bars down and the dots down. When these two don't match, we tend to get kind of a ping pong effect, just like we want in the actual trading, ES and NQ to have some kind of rhythm together. Same thing goes for the add and subtract. It works best when they both add or they both subtract. Okay, so when they don't, you tend to get a stronger one. Like my guess is, if I had to guess, is NQ will be a little bit stronger than SPY today. That's a guess, right? Now, remember when you're putting it together, okay, so this part is very important and I want everyone to listen, okay? It's important. Whether you are trading long or short, okay, so I'm going to use this as my example, okay? If I enter long, so I'm going to show you, we're fighting against the tide. If I enter long, this is long only, right? On process, enter, entry, entry, entry and stop, entry and possibly paid. I mean, it's a 4-tick bar, right? And it's overnight. Entry and paid, entry and probably stopped there. It only went 1 bar. Entry and stopped, entry and paid. I'm totally trading against the tide that I should be in, right? Now, here's the other side of that trade, right? Entry and short, entry and short, entry short stopped, entry short paid, entry short paid, entry short maybe paid, and entry short paid. Okay, why am I pointing that out? Your final decision making needs to be on the algo and nothing else, not what you think, not what you feel. If you'll follow the algo statistically works, mathematically gives you a huge edge, right? And the trade generally, we obviously opened, the trade generally works. I am entering on an algo, regardless of what all the information says or shows me, right? Let me refresh the market tide real quick. It's Monday. NVIDIA has earnings Wednesday night. There's Jackson Hole, where our Fed chair, fearless Fed chair, will speak over and over and over again for hours. If you want to trade that, be my guest. I'm kind of inclined to skip that. Net volume negative, calls over puts, both calls and puts over 0 to start the day. Let me see if there's anyone lagging. Last check. No, we're all good. Okay, so I'll keep that to the right. So if I'm going to enter a trade, right? If I'm going to enter a trade on NQ or ES, I'm going to enter on an algo, right? And then the rest of it is just putting the pieces together, okay? I'm not moving my stops, right? You can get stopped. I found places on this 4-tick where you can get stopped 3 or 4 times in a row. It's rare, but it happens, okay? And then lastly, I want to trade my gamma levels, right? Lastly, I want to trade my gamma levels, okay? So all this does is lets me align ES. I'll have NQ out hopefully tonight. Lets me align my trades with the direction in which I want to trade. That's all it does. So on NQ, I'd be looking long. On ES, I'd be looking short, and then I'd want to line it up so that it makes some kind of sense. And then I want to get an understanding of how the market's actually trading. Okay, I want to get an understanding of how the market is actually trading. We're right above the biggest, one of, if not the biggest gamma level, 76, 66, 75, and we're right on it on NQ, right? So if you ask me, I'd say NQ has a better chance of lifting off that than ES does, and we'll see how the whole day kind of unfolds from there, okay? I don't have much else to say about that other than I'm following my process. Does anyone have any questions about today? I cannot hammer in hard enough. If you're really struggling, take a 2-point scale and either take, and I would leave the balance for a stop. So it's net down commissions, right? And if you really, really want to make sure you just make money, it's 2 points, maybe start to break even, but you're going to get on ES a lot of backside tests. A lot of your trades are going to end up stopping for a small profit, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But that is going to happen. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? I want everyone to start off the week on a good foot right, on a good foot. So is there anything that I'm explaining here that's not clear to everyone? I'm looking for shorts in ES. I have a negative bias on ES. I have a positive bias on NQ, and that's how I'm going to trade it, for better or for worse. And obviously the same things, right? Like some of the days we'd go look and you're like, well, it's open drive lower, it's open drive lower, gamma is like let's say I got a positive bias, it's open drive lower, net volume is negative, right? Like if you look right now, let's say on ES, this is an important part actually. Okay, so let's say today I came in and it's the opposite. I want to be clear. I'm giving an example here. It's not how I'm trading. Okay. Let's say I was looking for the long and we got this for the open. Calls underneath zero, puts over zero, net volume negative, but they added liquidity. So I'd be hypothetically looking for a long, right? Well, I'm either going to cut size, wait till it all lines up. Now, this is where you have to make a decision as a trader. Do I wait till it all lines up? Or do I just not care? And I don't have a right answer for everybody, right? For me, I'm pretty aggressive, right? I'm probably trying everything, especially if I can get it out of a supernova, right? And I get the algo up. If it looks like this and I was long, now as it is, it's short, and I'd want to take my shorts with this, right? And then I'm watching for the cross to the upside. And if I get the cross to the upside, what am I going to do naturally? If I'm looking for shorts, net volume turns positive, calls go positive, and puts go negative. Here's how I'm going to change it. I'm going to make sure I don't get one of those open drives where they're just jamming to the upside, right? But after that, I'm probably taking my shorts with a short, I'm with my shorts, but with a shorter leash. I'm not trying for 10, 20, 30 in that environment. I'm going for something different, right? And off the top, I'm probably scaling a little bit harder, especially where I have size on, right? So does that make sense to everybody, how I'm explaining that? And then I'll show you the same thing here in QQQ. Come on, QQQ. Wow. Let's go with, there it is. So here's QQQ, net volume's negative, calls under zero, puts over zero, calls under zero, and volume over zero, right? So it looks a little bit different. And then you can also do the same thing with, if you do this, if you really want to make yourself confused, you can put up SPX and NDX as well. I was doing this for a little while and I found that it just confused me, but there's SPX, okay? Calls under zero, puts over zero, and then I'll put NDX up there in a minute. But if it were me, right, and 1 day is as low as you can go on the non-market tide stuff, right? And if here's a little secret, if the market tide has QQQ, like see how it has QQQ in here? Yeah, I'll show you. Unusual whales. You can do this, and then you will get it. Let's see if it'll just give me, oh no, it won't. It doesn't give it to me the way I wanted it. It doesn't give it to me the way I want it. Sorry, I was wrong. You'd have to go back here, and then you would type in NDX if it's up here. Q, SPY, Russell, symbol, NDX. And there's the NDX. Calls under, puts over. I don't, generally I'm just going off of this and that's it. And then QQQ, I'll look at this occasionally, but this is what I'm going off of primarily. Okay, so anyways, that's my 2 cents. Like I said, I'm focused on the short side of the trade. You can see I'm focused on the 4 tick and the short side of the trade. 2-point stops. I do not know if we have econ, so I will look. No econ. Chicago National Activity. And Ontario's Premier Doug Ford says Canada should be ready to cut electricity to the U.S. Woohoo! Dukes are off. Of course, he's just the, I guess that's like the governor of the province. I don't know anything about Canada. Good beer, good whiskey, nice people. Okay, so I'm checking right now. Does anyone have any questions? I see a, okay, then I'm going to take it I was clear. NQ bias long, ES bias short. We usually end up with some variation on balance, and we go from there. I have one other account I need to log on to and get going, so I'm going to do that very quickly here. NQ down 318, ES down 23, which I find amusing. I'll tell you why later today. So you have everything you want for a short setup there. That's like all there is to it. And this is where I would look at NQ and go, I don't know that I want to press my long side trade, but I would not be surprised on impulse moves up, and if it gets a supernova, that it goes higher, but I would not be surprised. Also, look how it got underneath the 29,129, backside test, roll down, and then why did this not copy? Yes, NQ. Chart number, oh, it is the 32 tick, chart number 19. 3. Where is, okay. So why? Oh, it did. Okay, perfect. So started off in the hole pretty good, and there you can see at the trades, trade 1, trade 2, trade 3, and I am now turning off my trade lock. Also, I move mine to 1 outside, 1 inside touch. I have y'all set to 1 outside touch because it's more conservative, right? So I'll be taking some trades that are more aggressive, i.e. we won't match, right? And it is just a free falling. Is it bond? Are bonds getting killed this morning? Does anyone have it? Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is a perfect example of where I would ignore the long side trade on NQ because it's obviously open drive lower, right? I'm not gonna sit there and go, yeah, pound the short side. I pound the long side when it's clearly open drive lower. It's just when we start responding up, I would expect NQ's long bars to go. And because I was late today, I've missed my best entry for a short side trade, and that's okay too. I will get it. I do not have to rush, right? Oh wait, this is in trade simulation loss. Yes, thank you. There we go. This is as clear open drive lower as it gets, guys. Right? NQ is just pretty much in a free fall. I am not in a rush to do anything here except short. If they bounce it, that's fine. Your 28,921 is the obvious target down, and we go from there. This chart does not have the Renko bar predictor. Sorry, I've got to add it in. Look for Renko range predictor on the algo if you need it. And there's the Renko bar predictor. You just come over here and go to R and add it. It's RENKO if you need it. And now you know where it opens and closes. ES, thank you. Excuse me, ES backside testing. That's 6650. 66.75. Trump's tweeting. He's saying that everything that comes out of Canada will have their so Trump on the tape, obviously affecting things. And now you just got to be patient for your setups. Is anyone confused? Now, the only key here is don't get bearish, right? Don't go, it has to go down. Keep reading your chart and trading your chart. And the VWAP, they're trying to hold that big gamma level, which is fine. Pegged. Trying to reverse it. Look at NQ. Go. One minute till 9 o'clock. That was just a 9 a.m. deal. Short again. Wow, I'm getting whipped. I don't know if someone's speaking, but that's 2 stops in a row. I may need to increase it to the full bar, just FYI, which would be 71 and a quarter. That sucks. I am adjusting that. I did not like that whip. That's 2 in a row whipped. Totally sucks. I don't know if someone's speaking or what's going on, but they are definitely whipping this thing around. Man, that's a crappy sequence right there. I am moving this to the top of the bar, my stop, just FYI. I've got to do it on both of them. So I'm adding a point a quarter worth of risk just because of the choppiness. Wow. And I obviously got paid on that. I don't know where my thumb is, but, and I don't know why I can't flatten this trade. Right click, flatten and cancel. There. So I have the charts detached. And I'm going to figure out what's going on there and why I couldn't do that. But that helped significantly. Sorry, I had a little confusion, guys, going on. It threw me off of my rhythm of trying to get this to work, but there's the trades. There we go. And between all three of those trades, I'm down, including commissions, $84. How? I'm not sure, but that's how it is. So I'll go look at it in a minute. But it's minus $84 between those three trades, which is just fine. Sorry for the confusion. And now we have slowed down a lot. So I goofed that series there. The stops were correct, right? The stops were correct, but I should have let that thing go for the 10 and I didn't. That's all right. I got a little confused as to why I'm not seeing. Oh, this is interesting. This is why. Okay. That would be why. So if I do this, trade, there we go, and trade. Now that should be floating around some here, and now I can monitor. There we go. Now I'm in business. I couldn't find it earlier. And really, that should have been, I should have had that 840 chart, and I was messing around, but it's day one on that, so it's okay. Like I said, $50 is just fine on that. Again, I am not looking long right now. I am not looking long until I see a change in character or a change in the um, market tide. I'm looking short. And I've been a little slow getting everything organized this morning, but I will get there. Did anyone get the 840? I didn't, and I'm frustrated with myself, but from that, that's all right. I'll just get to the next one. Remember, don't get intense about it. Just let it come to you. Oh, I know what I didn't do, at least temporarily. Nice job. Nice job, Chase. I didn't have everything up and running quick enough. We're already down a lot, and that's why the market's having a hard time extending one way or the other. Just FYI, that's what that's all about. That's why we're chopping around. Everyone's kind of looking at everyone else going, what do we do here? Again, I am not taking NQ long till I see it structurally go, oh, they're reversing it, and this is a reversal day. It would make sense to have a reversal day. I think this is like the seventh down day, right? But that doesn't mean it has to reverse. And we will have the signs when it does reverse. It won't be like, oh my gosh, like some of the signs, NQ rallies 200 to 300 points. That would be a start, right? That'd be a start. We go back to flat on the day. We don't have to catch the bottom, right? And even if it does, we want to enter on process, just like in this example here, stop, stop, paid, pretty much flat, right? Stop, stop, paid, pretty much flat. And that's okay, right? The objective is when you get the days where it bam, 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 four in a row, and you're up a K, right? If you get three trades, 2 out of 3 stop, and it puts you down $50, $80 on regular contracts, that's pretty damn good in most circles. At the end of the hour, we'll have IB low, IB high stats open, et cetera, et cetera. And if you look at it, ask yourself one simple question. Is this easy or is this hard? And if the answer is this is hard, don't trade it, right? See how it's chopping all of a sudden, right? People are trying to figure out what to do with it. So that means you just sit tight, right? Until you see it's easy. Open drive lowers are harder, especially when they start to consolidate. We have no news to drive it. Remember, we have two sides of this story pushing, right? Two sides. NQ's positive on adding liquidity. NQ ES removed liquidity. It makes the day harder. It's the first thing that I wrote, makes the day harder, right? And we are circulating around the 76.66. It loves it, as a matter of fact. I'm just waiting for my algos to fire. You're above the 100 period moving average on NQ on the 32 tick and the 24 tick. Again, no guessing. Your job is just to follow the algos for better or for worse, right? That's my job. That's your job. Or unless you're following a different plan, that's your job, right? And what I'm writing in my notes, right, is don't worry about the trades I didn't get, right? Follow process. Follow process equals make money. And keep account. Two important things, right? Don't outguess the market. Double blue square, green bar up on ES on the 32 tick, right at the 200 on NQ, excuse me. Like I said, they're going to end up being in competing categories because of the added liquidity and the removal of liquidity, just how it is, right? So what you slowly should start to see right on NQ, I'd be more willing to take the green bars up off of Supernova, right? Even though it's down. Why? Liquidity was added. ES, more willing to take my short entries, even though I got kind of smoked there at 8:58 to 9 o'clock, right? But it's all right. When I look back, most of the time those work. And again, you'll see I didn't hit the third channel. I would have had this short as well. It just depends on how aggressive I want to be. This is day one of me running this algo in this configuration, right? So on NQ, right, green bars on the reversal. I'm willing to test them on smaller size because of the trend day down like nature. ES, I'm looking for white bars down, right? And then I'm, of course, normal stuff. Can we cut net volume in half? All these other items that go into making our decision. But my final decision, the final way I will enter a trade, right? White bar down or dot down, green bar up or dot up, right? And we're coming up, we should have an algo right at 9:30. I would suspect that would be it. Remember, the first thing I said this morning, ES and NQ being on different wavelengths usually produces, with regards to the add-in liquidity, usually places two different two different formats into play, right? Two different formats into play. Okay, not one, two. NQ a trine, ES a trine. Maybe some kind of news out there, guys. Again, look at your algos. White bar down, pain. Green bar up, pain. Trade your algos, right? Don't guess. I find people that are losing money are off process, right? I go, did you take every green bar down? Did you put your stop in properly? All these things, whether it's the trader assist or not, that's where we run into problems. Thank you, just on a ripper. I don't know what the heat is, but it's awesome. Look at that push. No short signals over to the right. I don't have any kind of news or anything to report one way or the other. Volume looks like it was cut in half. Yep. There's no rotation in NQ, like none. I got 7 down days, right? That's a lot of protection getting purchased, right? So just keep that in mind. That's all I have to say about that. But NQ is not obviously we're not shorting NQ, but it's not responding to the downside trades either. Starting to smell kind of rally-ish, guys. ES only down 17 points for all the huff and puff. Volume's been cut in half. That's usually a sign for us. Price over 0. Call's not there yet, so they're not participating on the call side, but not stopping them either. There's the short setup on ES. Again, these should just fall away. So I'm going to leave the stop as is. That's how I tested it. Earlier was just chopped because of that 9 o'clock. And you can always choose like, hey, I don't want to trade it. We're going straight up. That's fine. I'll let the trade play out. Can't even get 2 points on it. There's the 2 points. Now you got to decide, do you want to leave it stop at break even or just flatten it out, right? However you want to handle it. We're heading right in there. So I'm going to take it right into VWAP. That's my choice because I see that NQ got very strong and over VWAP all of a sudden. So, and I know, right? I know the liquidity add is different, so I'm managing it a little bit differently, right? That's what I was talking about the other day when we're not getting the rotations, when you're not getting the fat rotations that we're looking for. Chase, are you in the room? That's how I adjust when I'm not getting the rotations I'm looking for. I can see NQ and ES aren't aligned. NQ is clearly stronger than ES, right? And so they're not, see how they're not connected? So I'm just going to take my P&L off the table quicker. That's all. I'm still entering on process. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Ed. By the way, if you want the trader assist to work on NQ, you're gonna have to change the whole scales, which is what I haven't done. But you can pop it in. They'll take green bar up and white dot up on the turn, right? At the fourth channel. And if it's so I can't, it's hard to read the room, confused, not confused. So if you look at the trades that I took, including the 2 stops and the 2 wins, right? My P&L after commissions on Tradeify is 150 bucks, right? That is an okay outcome for me because I will have days where it all lines up. And if I had that plugged in earlier, I'd be up closer to 600 or 700 bucks on a little account. That's really good, right? Um, and then I'm up on my ES personal accounts as well. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I am trying to make come to fruition, right? That's what I'm trying to make come to fruition is that even on days where it doesn't work perfectly, the stops are small enough. I've got no extensions, right? I'm at a 50% win rate and I'm still positive on the day, right? And if I don't like the way the day is going right now, I can literally go, hey, I'll take it off for 150 bucks. I don't want to, right? But I can. And I don't have the stress, right? I didn't sit there and guess when we're going to turn. I didn't look for every little nuanced trade. I go, okay, these are the trades I'm looking for. This is fine. They're trying their hearts out to grab a reversal for today. You can see it. They're working hard on it. And ES is making higher highs and higher lows on both time for the 32 and the 24. So we'll see what they do. Coming back to knock on Globex slow for NQ, attempting it at least. Why didn't that dot down? Why didn't I fill? Because I have it on a tick limit. So that's where the limit hurts you. It looks like it should have filled me, but it didn't for whatever reason, right? And that's where the limit trade can hurt. But most of the time I get that filled, so I'm not gonna sweat it. If you see that and you want to manually enter, that's fine. Or you can change it to market order and you definitely get filled. But most of the time it backside tests into the bar, so I'm good with it. But mostly you should feel pretty relaxed with how the day is going. Like none of this should be like, oh my gosh, I'm getting ripped around or anything else. All the frustration I'm feeling is just because I didn't have all the I's dotted and T's crossed that I thought I did. And I can fix that. ES and NQ over VWAP, which is interesting. Again, don't guess what it's going to do. Let it push you into the trade, right? Don't worry about whether unless you're just like, if this market reverses and I'm not in, it'd be the end of my world. Other than that, you're not worried about it, and you shouldn't be worried about it. Guessing, in my book, is the worst thing you can do as to what it's going to do. Slow grind. Slow grind. Sure, I adjusted this. Keltner adjust. Settings, shorts. On bar under touch. Just didn't get it. Oh, the limit. The limit is what got it. That's what I remember. Got it. The limit. That's what got it. Again, if you took that dot down, we're above VWAP, right? We're right above that 76, 66, 75 key level, right? And we're on the seventh day down in a row, right? One of the big killers in a bear market. If it's going to roll over, that's fine, right? If it's going to roll over, that's fine. But one of the killers in the bear market is loading into the shorts, thinking it's going to keep going down, and then you end up with these monstrous trade reversals, right? And so, yeah, that kind of sucks, but that's how it is. That's all right. Did that enter a trade and exit a trade? I don't understand why it entered and flatted the trade at the same time. Did anyone else just get that? I filled and flatted. I don't understand why. Oh, hold on. Thank you. Guys, y'all need to change the offset. I have the offset at 0.25. That needs to be minus 0.25. Is that's one tick? Doesn't that mean one tick less, like in instead of down, Bill? I want it one tick below. Doesn't minus 0.25 mean to bring it up? We'll solve it later, whatever it is. And it's just on that one bar, so I'll fix it, whatever it is. Right, and I want it 0.25 under the bar. So when you put it minus 0.25, I'm a tick under, but you got filled and I didn't. I need to think about that for a second. Nice trade, by the way. Chase, you should have gotten that. I don't understand why I didn't get filled on that trade. It came back. I'm minus a tick. Right, but Bill, when you do it 0.25, you're one tick into the bar, right? It has to come back up through the bar to get filled, right? I want it one tick below the bar. So it's offset 0.25, meaning positive 0.25. Is that wrong? He's not responding or he's not listening, one of the two. It's fine. Damn, first day of introducing stuff always is tricky. Well, it's negative volume now. It's below zero. Oh, I don't. I don't. It's just means that we're in a mixed market. I go off market tide primarily. It's harder when they're mixed like that. That's how I interpret it. Actually, now that I see your question, I interpret it as it'll be choppier, which it is. Right. I agree. But when they both align, it's really good. And that's what I try to get. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Uh, Stop price must be below trade price. How does that make sense? Sell order stop price must be below order must be below trade price. That's weird. Okay, but I'm not one to question it. It's fine. I can handle that. So, hey, Bill, can I call you for a second? Because I'm unclear. Or we'll just wait till 11 to handle it. It's fine. It's not that big a deal. It's just frustrating, but it's not horrible. Something horrible, obviously. Notice the difference in the weakness in between NQ and ES, guys. See that? They're pretty palatably different in terms of their strength or weakness. Okay. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Got it. Thank you, Ed. That makes perfect sense. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I don't feel like a crazy person. My guess is we trade on NQ to 29,127 up above would make sense, right? Or we have to get decisively below VWAP, one of the two. Is everyone seeing, um, like Brian? I don't know who else in the room right now, but I'll look. Brian, Chase, um, Johnny. Is everyone seeing how there's a distinctive difference between the way NQ is trading and the way ES is trading? Look if you took the green bars up in NQ, right? This is, I'm gonna have to fix it so it'll show. Here, I'll just do it manually. Dots up and green bars up. Okay, longs. Stop, trade, stop. That was right at 851. Long, paid, long, stopped. This green bar was one bar off, but that's fine. Green bar up, right? And okay, so 24 was just okay. Not horrible, not great. If you got the long, what I want to come and say is if you took bar two, you would have made it, but I don't want to say that because it just adds confusion. What I generally see when I look at the chart is the green bars up or lifting on NQ and the dots up or lifting like that right there as well. And I would have an easier time making money on the long side on NQ. Here's the 32 tick. Let's see if my, yeah, there we go. So same chart, 32 tick. One, stop, paid, stop, not two bars down, super paid, slightly paid, and then attempting to pay, right? You got 2 bar lift off of that. So today, the 32 tick is working better than the 24 tick, which is important to remember. And then the next piece behind that is we do not have matching markets, and it gets tougher when we're not matching. When we match, pretty straightforward, right? ES on kind of a nosedive there. I'm so mad that I covered that quickly, but I'm having a little bit of difficulty matching all the little pieces up, which is fine. And the other thing you'll notice, so see how ES is advancing on its downside slope and NQ isn't. Obviously, if it breaks this, we'll hit the 100 period moving average down there. And I do think it's a tougher market than we normally have when they both align. Like, I don't have a problem saying that. I think it's true. It doesn't bother me. And if it's not, I'm totally all right with that concept of, hey, you got it wrong. And they are duking it out, aren't they? Green bar up on NQ, right at VWAP. You're going to get a lot of volume in there. But they're obviously trying to lift off of VWAP. Man, I missed that beautiful roll. I messed with my focus. That's all right. They are trying to hold NQ very, very desperately. So just to give you all an update, I'm up in just the little account. My $200 in profits, 153.92, which sounds outrageous on commissions, but that's what it says. So I'll leave it at that. Why is it not executing? Anyone else fill on that? I get a white dot down there. I don't have a trade lock. Anyone else? I don't understand why it's not filling. Let me go to my order book. In the alert, I'm not getting anything else. Very, very frustrating. Yeah, but it should be firing automatically. I did my other accounts, but I don't understand why I'm not getting the pull. That's all. And I was afraid of that. This has just been a weird day. When they don't line up, it can be very frustrating. You have to stay persistent. News stopped, obviously. Someone knew that was coming. That's all there is to it. Just heads up. Anyone got it or know what it is? Someone knew it was coming. That's that Truth Social stuff. I got nothing. Damn. I have no idea what's going on, guys. Someone else is going to have to help me. So I don't know what in the world just happened. Someone has it, let me know. There's a rumor going around that the US eyes 7.5% China overcapacity tariffs before Z. I don't know what that means, but it's tariffs news, just FYI. Okay, let me see. That's as fishy as it gets because it moved before that headline hit.